So we will continue the sum number 2. Yesterday I asked you to check whether the value of a equal to 2 and b equal to minus 3. So now I gave b equal to 3, but you have to check. So you will get minus 3. So now after find out the values of a and b, just you substitute in the place of a and b that in the next step what we did yesterday, and now you have to integrate. Clear? So this continuation of the sum number 2, yesterday I stopped up to that value of a equal to 2 and b equal to I gave 3. What is it worked out? You will get b is equal to minus 3. So just you substitute in the place of a and b, you will get this one. So now you have to integrate log y is equal to the integration of, so wherever you see the fractional format, you know how to find out that there are 5 methods to integrate. This is indefinite integrate because there is no limit is given. So you just differentiate the denominator. If you differentiate the denominator, when the value is exactly the numerator, that is called a logarithmic format. This you know very well, isn't it? We studied already in that chapter number 2. So similarly this will become minus 3 log of 3x plus 2. So when you integrate, then you have to add some constant, but I told you in the second chapter, when the integration of the both the right side left side will be in terms of logarithm, then you have to add constant as log in terms of log. But I made a mistakes. See, normally you boys make mistakes in some places. I tell you right now, you see this is 3, I wrote here 3, but I did not here as 2. So if you write 3, then logarithm of 3x plus 2, then your answer is wrong, because the differentiation of the denominator is 3 is there in the exactly, so which means you have to apply log of the denominator, don't write this constant. Clear? Don't do that mistakes. So most of you are making a mistake like this, 3 into log 3x plus 2, 2 into log 2x minus 1. So don't do it like that. So be careful when the derivatives, the denominator is in the exact in the numerator, you will get log 3x plus 2. Your answer is logarithm of the denominator. Clear? So don't use this, the constant what is there already in the numerator. That is wrong. So now log y is equal to, this is log a minus log b format. What is log a minus log b format? Log a by b. Clear? So if it is plus log c, then you can apply the property a c by b. So in logarithm, if there is a log a plus log b. Now you consider this is a, log a plus log b, it will be log a into b, which means you have to multiply these two. This is one part. Or you can take minus term to the left side and make it into plus, you will get answer. Clear? So what I am suggesting you that, so you bring it the negative term to the left side. So if you can proceed like this also, I can apply this formula. See, this will come under a division format and this will come under a multiplication format. So you can apply any one of these method. Either you do the right side as it is by using division rule and multiplication rule, or transfer the negative term to the left side, then you can apply the product rule on both sides. Clear? So whatever you do, finally you will get same answer. So you never get different answers. Clear? So now I will try now in this format. You will see. Clear? So either you can use log a minus log b format, you will get log a by b plus log c, that is k is there, but I consider c. Again this is log a plus log b format, product. When the log comes under in the addition, you have to write as a product, that is a into c by b, because already we have b in the denominators. Just you have to multiply these two, this is one formula. clear, product rule. So I am applying the combination of that, that is division as well as the product rule. You can do this method also, or you can transfer the negative term to the left side and you can use the product rule, apply the product rule for both the sides, you will get answer. So this is product rule. So this is will become y of 3x plus 2 is equal to log of 2x minus 1 into k. Both side log get cancelled. So we will get y is equal to 3x plus 2 is equal to 2x minus 1 k. Clear. So now like to find out, this is your answer. You can stop up to this, but some information is given in the question. Find the function when x is equal to 2 and y is equal to 3 by 8. So you have to find out the value of the constant k by using the information x is equal to 2 and y is equal to 3 by 8. So when the information is not given about the variable x and y, then your answer is correct. You just leave it as it is. But some information is given to find values of k. Therefore, you have to replace those information in the question, that is in the final stage of this answer, and find the values of the constant k. So here it is given x is equal to 2. So when x is equal to 2, x is equal to 2 and y is given 3 by 8. So just to replace in the place of y 3 by 8, 3 of 2 plus 2, again 2 of 2 minus 1 into k. Just to simplify, 3 by 8, 3 2s are 6, 8, 2 2s are 4, 4 minus 1 is 3, 3k, these two get cancelled, and 3 is equal to 3k, k is equal to how much? 1. So now you know what is the value of k is, that is 1. You have to replace in the place of k is replaced by 1. So now your y is equal to 2x minus 1 by 3x plus. So this is your required answers. Clear. So even if you apply this formula also, you will get answer. Straight away keep this one. Y is log y is equal to log 2x minus 1 by 3x plus 2 into k. If you proceed in this format also, you will get same answer. So don't think that you will get different answer. You will get same answer. The problem is this is indefinite integral. When all the integrations comes in terms of logarithm, then you are supposed to add the constant also log k. Don't simply add plus k. You will not get answers. Clear. So you may have questions. So why sir? Why don't you ask k? It is these are in the logarithm format. If you add only plus k, then you convert the k into logarithmic format. So you can add or subtract with what? Only the like terms. You cannot add or subtract with unlike terms. So that we are using log. So no other new concept. Why I am using only log k. So add or subtract done only with like terms, not with unlike terms. Clear. So that's what we are using log k. So nothing wrong. Anyhow, if you replace k by any number, will give only the constant. That will not affect the variables. So you check again whether you will get a is equal to 2 and b is equal to minus 3. So whenever it is given, you should complete that work. Then only you will get some gain. If you copy everything from the board, if you ask the teacher, if you expected the teacher to complete all the problems without giving any simple steps, that as a homework, then it is merely waste of learning mathematics. So mathematics, your contribution is more than the teacher contributions. That is a basic concept. Clear. So now we will go to the sum number 3. Because we did already yesterday sum number 4 and 5, because that is similar to each other. Now question number 3. The elasticity of demand with respect to the commodity is given by 4 minus x. Elasticity of demand, the symbol for elasticity is eta d. D stands for demand, eta d. This is studied already, I think so. Okay, this new but in the economics in 11th standard. Clear? So eta D, that is elasticity of demand. The formula for elastic demand is minus P by X into dx by dp. This is a formula, general formula to find elasticity of demand, P by X into dx by. Here P is refers to price, X is refers to number of units. Sometimes the P is refers to demand function also. So don't confuse. This is a price, P stands for price and X stands for number of units. It is given already in the questions. So don't consider P is this P. Sometimes some other questions may consider as demand function, also called average revenue. So when you work out the problem, the next coming up the problems, you will see the revenue function and what is average function, average cost. So that all will coming. You will see in the come up the problems. So minus b by x into dx by dp. So sometimes this x may be get changed. When the question is in terms of x, you have to replace x. When the question is in terms of q, I think in 11th standard you may study it like this in business maths, dq by dp. So you may have the options. So P stands for price, Q stands for units. So depends upon the information is given in terms of either X or Q, you have to change the formula. This is not a new formula to you, that you know very well about this formula, elastic demand and supply. Demand carry negative sign, supply carry positive sign. So this X alone get changed, even the price also, the P also get changed, depends upon the question. Sometimes it may be like this, minus y by x into dx by dy. So y is refers to price, x is never refers to number of units. So you keep some information in your mind that price is always in the numerator, number of units are required, demands are in the denominator. That way you keep it in your mind. The differentiation of this reciprocal will be the next factor. That way you can keep it in your mind. The price should be always in the numerator. Clear? So you very well you know in economics you studied about the definition of elasticity of demand. So with that only we got this formula. Remember, the price of that unit should be in the numerator, whether that price refers to P or X or Y or whatever the variable doesn't matter. The price should be always the numerator. The demand, required number of units should be always the denominator. Derivatives of these two, the reciprocal of the derivatives of these two will be the next factor. So in that way you keep memorize this formula. So price should be always the numerator, number of units should be denominator. The reciprocal of these derivatives will be the next factor. That's all. In such a way you have to keep it in your mind. Now the elasticity of demand is given. How much is given there? Elasticity of demand is given in the question, that is elasticity of demand 4 minus x by x. It is given already in the questions. So now I have to replace this eta d by 4 minus x by x. So for which you have to write first formula in the left side. Formula is equal to what is given. So dx, not y. So dx by dp. So formula is equal to this 4 minus x, or you can write 4 minus x by x in the left side, formula on the right side. That is your wish. So for my convenient, I write formula is equal to what is given, elastic demand is given. What is the relevant formula to find elastic demand? This is the formula. This is answer for this only, it is given as 4 minus x by x. That is the meaning. Clear? So in 10th standard you learned about the mensuration. Volume of the sphere is 1500, which means how you write? You are writing volume of the sphere, formula is 4 by 3 pi r cube. This is the formula. The answer for this formula is given as 1500. So what is given? That information is related to one formula. The formula is equal to the given information. So in this way, the elastic demand is given as 4 minus x by x. So what is the formula to find elastic demand? Minus b by x into dx by dp. So now as usual you have to group. So I told you already, you when you separate the terms, when you separated the terms, like terms, dx and dp should be in the numerator. In such a way, you have to transfer the terms from left side to right side or from right side to left side. So already we have the dx in the numerator. So keep the x variables, all the x variables in the left side. So we have dx. So once you group that x variable in the left side, then you have to see what are the terms or factors in the right side consisting the x variable. That's very important. So once you keep the x variable in the left side, then immediately you have to see to the right side whether the right side terms consisting the variable x. Yes, we have all the terms of the right side will be in terms of x. So transfer the x. If it is p, for example, if it is given p minus 2 and so on like this, in such a case you don't bring p minus 2 to the left side. If you bring p minus 2 to the left side, what is here? dp in the denominator. That is not allowed, I told you already. So when you separate the terms, when you separate or grouping the like terms, the dx and dp should be always in the numerator. In such a way, you have to transfer the variables. Clear? So that's what I said. You keep the formula in the left side always. What is the numerator? Dx. So that dx. So x variable should be in the left side. If there is any x variable in the right hand side, you please transfer to the left side. So x is in the denominator. When you transfer the denominator to the left side, denominator will become the numerator and the numerator will become the denominator. See, I just separated it. Clear? So when you take the entire term right side, if it is in the factor format, you have to take reciprocal. That you know very well in the lower classes. Second and third standard, the teacher taught you how to transfer that fractional format into left side or right side. When you transfer the fraction either from right side to left side or left side to right side, it become always you take reciprocal. So this will become the numerator, this will become the denominator. So now you have to, what are the variable consisting p in the left side? So dp. Denominator now will become numerator. This numerator will become denominator. Now we can integrate symbol. X we will get cancelled. Now the question is, sir, there is a negative sign. Where do you keep? Where should I keep this negative sign? Very simple. Either you can keep the negative sign in the left side or on the right side. That is your wish. But you think little for doing the problems in very simple manner. I can, if you keep the negative sign, the right side also will get same answer. I did not say you will get wrong answer. But I suggested you to take the negative sign, whether you have to retain in the left side or you want to transfer the negative sign to the right hand side. You see the denominator of the given function. See, the x has negative sign. So if you differentiate this one, we will get minus 1. So you are supposed to have minus 1. But minus 1 is not there. So if the minus 1 is not there, I did with separate format. Listen. So this is the fractional format. If it is fractional format, there will be two options. One is the substitution method, another is the logarithmic method. So now I am going for that substitution method. If I am differentiating the denominator, my answer is minus 1. Minus 1 is not the numerator. Therefore, I have to multiply and divide what I need. Clear? So I will get like this, minus 1 by 1 log of 4 minus x. Are you clear? So you have minus n. This is also correct. But for make my calculation part is very simpler one, I retain the negative sign in the left side itself, because minus x dx by 4 minus x is equal to dp by p. See, when I am differentiating the denominator, the 4 will become 0, minus x will become minus 1 is there already. So I don't want to multiply and divide. So that previous, just now I thought, no, that not necessary. So I skip off to reduce the calculation part. I keep the negative sign in the same side, because I need a negative sign while I am differentiating this minus x. I supposed to get minus 1. So I need minus value, therefore I kept the minus 1 in the left side itself. If you take minus with right side also, you get same answer. I did not say that you will get wrong answer. You can do whatever the process, but see to that wherever you transfer the negative sign, sir, if it is plus symbol means, then where you have to keep the negative sign, you can take negative sign any side, either left side or right side, that is no problem. Clear? But here in the question is given minus x, so I take minus in the left side. Now this will be become log of 4 minus x, because when I am differentiating this one, I got minus 1, so it is there minus 1, so log of minus 4 minus x, this is a log p, both integration in terms of log, therefore use your constant also should be in terms of log. Now log 4 minus x pk, log get cancel, so I got 4 minus x is equal to pk. Your answer is correct, but some information is given in the question. Find the demand function, which means you have to find p. See, before the integration the b stands for the price, it is given, but once you arrive at the answer, then p is price, x is number of units. After replacing the p value and x value, you will get one answer. In there you have to consider p as demand function. Clear? Previously I said sometimes p is called demand function, depends upon the question. Here it is x is number of units, p is given as price. So demand, number of units, that is demand is 2 and the price is given 4. Now 4 minus 2 is equal to 4k, 2 is equal to 4k, k is equal to 2 by 4, which will give you 1 by 2. So k is equal to 1 by 2, but k is equal to 1 by 2. So replace in the place of k, that is 4 minus x is equal to p of 1 by 2. Just to cross multiply, 8 minus x is equal to p. Now this is demand function. Now don't consider this p as price. At this stage p is refers to what? Demand function. So here is p is refers to demand functions. Now you have to find out revenue. So what is meant by revenue? Your income. Income is what? How to get income? If you, it is depends upon the number of units will be sold. It is depends upon the number of units will be sold in that particular day or particular month or particular year. Clear? So number of units sold into the price. Are you clear? Not clear? So revenue means your income. So if you sell the number of units with some price, clear, that is selling price. Clear? Selling price or price, demand, all in the same, but meaning is different, but according to the situation all these three categories will fall in same situation. So R is equal to P into X, sometimes this will be read as selling price into number of units, that is only revenue. Your income is in economics called as revenue. So P is demand function. So now this P sometimes called this demand function selling price also. So 8 minus 2x into x. This is the price, selling price, number of units. When you multiply the number of units into selling price, you will get your income, that is 8x minus 2x square. Clear? We will see that. So don't think that how do you get revenue? How many goods are selling with cost of each, when you each units. If you multiply those two, you will get answer. Clear? It's very simple. Only thing, be careful of transferring the terms from left side to right side or and vice versa. Be cautious with the sign plus and minus. If you get changed, then you will get different answers. You will lose mark. Now, already we completed sum number 4 and 5. So we will go to sum number 6, marginal cost, and you are asked to find out total and average cost. So this you studied already in 11th standard. When cost is given, how do you find out marginal cost? To integrate, to differentiate cost with respect to x. In the reverse order, when marginal cost is given, how do you find out cost? That is, you have to integrate the marginal cost, because anti-derivatives of is called integrations. So if you know the marginal cost, how do you find out the cost function? To integrate. So if you know the cost function, how do you find marginal cost? Differentiate the cost function. Clear? So when the marginal cost, you know what is mean marginal? Marginal means derivatives. What is meaning for marginal? Derivatives. So when the marginal cost is given, how do you find out total cost? C of x is equal to integration of marginal cost into dx plus k. This is not a definite integral, it is indefinite integral. I told you already, to find cost and revenue function, you are supposed to take only indefinite integral, don't take definite integral. Clear? So now this is the formula to find marginal cost, that is cost function when the marginal cost is given. Here it is given dc by dx. dc by dx is nothing but what? Marginal cost. It is given, that is 100 minus 10x, 100 minus 10x plus 0.1 x square. It is given 100 minus 10x plus 0.1 x square. So just you have to integrate it. 100 minus 10x plus 0.1 x square into dx plus k. You can integrate and finally you can add plus k. So nothing wrong. So now you have to integrate. Normal integration. Integration of constant is constant into x. Add 1 to the power of x. The power should be as a divisor of the particular term, plus 0.1 x cube by 3 plus k. It is c of x. That's the answer. But some information is given in the next step. Obtain the total. This is total cost and the average cost under the assumption that fixed cost is 500. Here you should notice that what is meant by fixed cost. Whatever the business you like to start, you need some basic amount. Clear? See, wherever you go and start any business, there should be an initial amount. Or to rent the shop on a particular day, you must need some amount. No sales. If you open the shop, you are simply just simply sitting and watching others. If nothing is done in the shop, you have to pay the electricity bill, and you have to pay the rent per day, and you have to pay for some refreshment for your laborers. So there no changes. That will be constant. Every day you have to spend some money towards the refreshment for the laborers and electricity bill and per day rent of that shop. So that is called fixed cost. All will come under fixed cost. Clear? So fixed cost means per day if you open the shop, nothing is sold out, which means you must sit in the shop, you are consuming that electricity and the refreshment cost. So all will be the fixed one. You have to, for example, when the person is opening shop, nothing, so he has some 500 rupees. So the businessman knows very well that per day I need 1000 rupees or 500 rupees to spend or to run the business towards the refreshment of the laborers and the travelling allowance to the laborers. So the minimum balance is need. The minimum requirement for the owner is called what? Fixed cost. So this you studied already in economics. So now the fixed cost is given already as 500. Therefore, just you have to replace the fixed cost in the place of k 0.1 x cube by 3 plus 500. It is given already, fixed cost is 500. This is total cost. How do you find out average cost? Cost function by x, the variable x. When you divide this first term by x, you will get what? 100 minus 10x by 2. This you studied already in 11th standard, how to find average cost, plus 0.1 x square by 3 plus 500 by x. So this is the formula to find average cost, AC. So now sum number 7. So almost the remaining problem of this exercise, same concept. But the problem is, what are the situations that you have to apply that indefinite integral and definite integral? I told you already. Clear? When the integration stands for continuous from 0 to whatever the final value is given, so in such a case, you have to take definite integral. If it is not mentioned, then you go for indefinite integral. Sum number 7, it is given very clearly MC. MC means what? So don't go for some other meaning. MC stands for marginal cost. So MC is given 300 x power 2 by 5. It is given x power 2 by 5. Fixed cost, when the fixed cost is 0, it is given. Find the total cost and average cost. So cost, how do you find out cost function? C of x means total cost. You may call as TC also, doesn't matter. If you write it simply C of x or TC, both are same. So integration 300 x power 2 by 5 into dx plus k, we can replace k by 0 in the next step. So integrate e power x is x power 2 by 5. So what will be the answer? 7 by 2 by 7 by 2 plus k. You have to add 1 to the power. So you will get x power 7 by 2. So take a reciprocal 2 by 7 into 300 x power 7 by 2 plus 0. So this is your cost function. So 600 by 7 x power 7 by 2. This is your cost function. Then you have to find out average cost 600 by 7 x power 7 by 2 by x. This is the formula to find average cost. That is C of x plus k by x. So just you have to simplify, I will get answer. So don't ask for me to complete this one. So you know when the base are same, under the division format, you have to subtract the power of x, numerator as well as the denominator. See the sum number 8, you can do it yourself. The remaining problems we will see later. Clear? Thank you, boys.